すいません、なんか落ちちゃったほんと謎よね今の。何だったのマジで。何だったんだ今の。怖っ。天候に適してないから。あ、別になんともなんないんだ。うわ、びっくりした。
If I'm honest, part of me will enjoy watching you rifle through rubbish. Seems
Gomi
only fair
bako?
after what you did to our flat.
衣装でおしゃれ。おしゃれで暖かい。嵐がやってくるかな。
If I'm honest, part of me will enjoy watching you rifle through rubbish.
ゴミ箱を漁る。
What you did to our flat.
ゴミ箱を漁る。ゴミ箱どこだ。ゴミ箱どこだ。この部屋ゴミ箱ないんだ。ホームズじゃなかった。ワトソン君どいてくれ。強制終了しましたね。すいません、天候に適しました。なんだこれ。血？ サボテンの針だ。
You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness.
何者かが毒殺しようとした。Wow.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here. Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
Blast. Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour. No sense in returning early.
今日起きた重大事
Any
件は
breaking news today?
The dog accident. It's the talk of the town.
Yes, yes. Besides the tripe on the front page, anything about burglaries?
I'm not sure, sir.
僕の新聞に何があった？
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson.
Sure, now I can take the day off.
男はどこで去った？その男が新聞に何をした？玄関先の男について教えてくれ。
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Looks can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises.
その男が新聞に何を
Did
し
you
た？
see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I
は
saw
ー
him
い。
approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there was a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
All right. You earned your shilling. That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears. If you have more shillings. I'll stand watch, just in case the strange man comes back.
なんもないな。
Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you? Okay, perhaps from Cordona.
コールドだからでし
How
た
about that Vogel fellow? He seems rather obsessed with you. Would he do something like this? Why go through all this scheming to murder you? A spine stuck to the newspaper is hardly lethal.
新聞の少年から得られた証言は少ない。彼は部屋に近づく不審な男に気づいたが、その音と大きな音が聞こえたそうだ。そして音は玄関先につまずいたが、少年はその客の対応中に身男を見失ったという。その男は本を大量に抱えていたらしい。毒が塗られているであるサボテンの針。ゴミ箱の中で見つけたストランド紙にはサボテンの針が刺さっていた。肌に刺さると引き抜くことは非常に困難となり、毒を塗れば理想的な暗殺道具になるだろう。新聞の残りページは水に濡れ、植木鉢の鉢植えの土で汚れている。これはなんだ？バーンズが届けた。新聞を読めなくした犯人は新聞を読めなくした犯人まだ分かんなくない？あ、違うんだ。新聞売りの話では、不審な男が大量の本を抱えていたという。そして今朝、本屋のバーンズ氏がワトソン先生に小説の本を配達した。暗殺用のサボテンの針、大きな音、バーンズ氏を訪ねるべきだろう。マジで。バーンズ氏っていうのが、あれなんだ。バーンズ氏。
From that Mr. Holmes' murder? Yes, Barnes has his quirks, but he also has his scruples.
Not every pawn knows it's part of a game. Could you help me?
I wish I could help you, but I don't know.
Could you help me?
I'm really sorry, but I can't help you. Try asking someone else.
OK。難易度オフにするか。想像も困難、記憶の迷宮も困難にしてみる。一回困難してみようか。なんかさっき簡単だったからな。
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
Can I ask you a question?
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
Barnes の本屋。
Help me, please.
No, I don't know anything about that.
May I ask you something?
I'm really sorry, but I can't help you. Try asking someone else.
ここか。
A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another. A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another. A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another.
Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
「目の下のクマ」長時間労働の結果。目の下クマあるの？見えないんだけど。インク、新聞のインクか？インクだね。目の下にクマあんのか？あとは紙はなんもないね。右足に大きく体重がかかっている。引きずっている。こけた証拠ってこと？そんなことまでわかんの？すげえな。靴か。身長高く見せようとしている。人物像を完成させる。インク、新聞のインクか。瞳の、違う、そこの高い靴。かかとか。目の下のクマ、長時間労働の結果。より長時間労働の結果、目の下に大きなクマができてしまっている。地震にかけており、上 どっちだろう。これかな。
Mr. Barnes, a word. Ah, for goodness sake.
Who,
いや、銃撃されたな
Sherlock
ら、
Holmes. Now will you please?
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you come in.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
Really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out.
新聞を読めなくした犯人はバーンズだ。新聞読めなくした犯人は本屋のバーンズだ。君の行動をとっている理由はこれかな。違うんだ全部。あ、違う。わかんないなまだ。
So, Barnes has a dog now.
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him. We're looking for a cactus needle in a haystack. A spine in a book stack? No, come on, Watson, think. I like bookshops. One of the few spots in London where you are shunned for making a racket.
Apologies, but I can't hear you. Please come back later.
The ladder is broken, recently, judging by the freshness of the wood. hardly imagine anything more macabre.
"永遠の愛を象徴する永遠の植物」と書いてある。
Basics of cryptoanalysis, cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby.
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
The finest view London has to offer. In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is. An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
一回出るか。
Hello there. What's your name?
Lily. I know, not very original. The weather is dreary, isn't it? To be fair, my flowers could use the rainfall. I should have worn something warmer. People don't tend to come out for flowers when it rains. Perhaps I should try selling door to door. Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite, unless you touch their thorns.
Lily.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses?
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them.
Korega.
Familiar spine? Is this what I found in my dustbin? The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something.
Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
Show している。おしゃれか。悲しみを隠すため。視線を避けているのか注意が、散漫なのか。店に来てから履き替えた。投資を忘れるの。 手術した夫との思い出を大切にしている化粧とおしゃれな服装から悲しみの声が出しているのが分かる。寝かし込んでいるのは誰かの注意誰かもしれない。いや違うだろうな。綺麗なブーツ。店に来てから履き替えた。遠い目。これだな。
My condolences, Mrs. Fleming.
Mr. Holmes?
Your husband's death. You're clearly still in mourning.
Oh, no. I loved him more than anything, of course, but that was some time ago now. Life goes on.
A lesson we all learn, one way or another.
証拠を提示する。
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless, though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break.
不審な話では誰かがサボテンを置いたのか、誰がサボテンを置いたのかわからないというし、休憩から戻ってきた足にサボテンが置いてあったよと。
I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right.
じゃあ夫の死はもう投げてないってことか。
anything about this, sorry.
何じゃ計画が。
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes, no, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy, so we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached. But since then,
バーンズ氏に気を引きたいから化粧とこういう派手な衣装をしてるのかな。
Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns.
そういうことか。バーンズ氏もこの人に気があるから花を見せていたっていうこと。
Have a look at my flowers. They will.
うわ、当たってた。当たってたわ。バーンズ氏は彼の穴を置き、花でフレミング夫人の注意を引こうとしている。花は見かねた夫人が水やりの証言のために店を訪れるように仕向けるためのものか、単に実施になっているかのどちらかだ。 机の目録で注文したサボテンを藤井に送った贈り物としては、目録で不老不死の主張象徴なのだろう。サボテンメーカー会議 1P でストランド地のつってであることは明らかだ。ほうほう。
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
これセーブとかないのかな。セーブあったわ。
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer. I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right, then.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus in your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
どうすればいいか教えよう。
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the obtruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things. Thank you.
So, at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper.
お、新聞を読むというバーンズの恋はほうほう。爆発事故。
Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
let me know if there's any way I can make it up to you. Tell you what, tomorrow's edition of The Strand is on me.
I'm sure Barnes has had enough of our meddling, Mr. Holmes. We best be off.
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But it's brilliant.
正隆さん、こんばんは。ありがとうござい
Well,
ま
his
す。
house is nearby. Come.
このすぐ先だ。こっちか。ちょっと外出だから戻ったらまた来ますね。了解です。ありがとうございます。この人か
Stenwick is just down the street from Barnes's bookshop.
遠いよ、進んだ先。
Not much further now.
ここかステンウィック邸。あ、こんなか。ここか。でっかいやつか。
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. And it's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
他にも失踪者が。
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony, then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Tell me about Kimahia.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen, and as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
Is there any reason Kimahia may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
I take it this is the first time Kimahia has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
Did Kimmer here make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No, no. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
厳し屋の痕跡はどこに続いている？
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed? You think you know someone. Do you think Kimmy here had an accomplice in his escape?
これなんだ、ゾウさん？ゾウさんじゃねえわ。違った。なんだこれ。
Chewing tobacco.
これはなんだ？なんもないな、これ。足跡。
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots. Looks like a knee print. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
十分食シャーロックは想像によって過去を再現できる。R 上で想像地点を、起動できる。どういうことだこれ。想像地点に触れればすいません、一旦終わります。また後でやります。